So welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is a live stream with live peoples. Recorded for Ustream.tv and also for YouTube for people to watch at their leisure. I'm playing in my Oogie tablet, drawing tablet, and I'm in Artrage. I think Artrage, I've actually bought it. I forgot what it's called now. It's just Artrage. I'll be working in my Bennett Klein sorry, not Bennett Klein, I do apologise, Kerby Rosanes Imagimorphia, and I like working with this. No, I don't actually need that. So what I normally have, and I don't actually need that one, I don't think. So I can put that right up there. So I'm in the blending markers and I'm working the pressure. I like very, very light. Oh, I've got stencils out. And I'm working in the blending pen marker, but I do like the pressure to be kind of high up there. And I work quite small, I work at 0. But what I do tend to do is I have a little button up here, so that will turn my page and this will enlarge it, and I work at 300 normally. I have my colour sample here, and I tend to collect lots and lots of colours, so you can actually I wonder if I've got the bucket thing. I have a bucket, don't I? I'm going to actually do this again, I think. Yep. So I've got my yellows and my blues, and I'm working on this section here. So again, I want it to be quite comfortable. So I want to work in a comfy position. So I want to be able to just move my arm around a little bit like this. So if I go in my pen, it's on 29%. I have it on 0. So I want to go in there with the bright goldy yellow. And I'm working with a blendable marker, so I've got to be a bit careful because I can blend all of the original drawing. I haven't got a layer on here. So I normally put a flat layer of colour on there. And then I go in with a paler one where I think the highlight would be. And if we go back to the original one, a bit of a sometimes I forget what I'm doing, so I kind of and then I want kind of a bit of a dull highlight. Now that's a little bit colder than that, so I don't know if I like that idea. Obviously my other yellows were warmer. They were obviously these colours here. But we've got a very pale one, so we can get a really nice highlight going on there. And then very carefully just bit of a dark highlight on that one, and while I'm here I'm just going to do that one because they would be the same. And this one I do have to, it works slightly different than the other program I was in, so this one I do tend to have to push the key down in order to get that up. So again, the highlight would be on there, a bit of a highlight on there, turn that round, so got the highlight on there, so then we've got a blue. Again, there's no pressure, just sliding that pen up and down. Get some nice rich colour in there, because there's one thing about this painting, it's got to be rich. Very pale colour on top now. And then the palest highlight. Which would be on top. But you need to keep it curved, because even though there's a highlight, it'll spoil it if it's not in its right place. Again, I should practice what I preach and have a comfortable hand position, so you can really kind of carry on. Pop it into that section there, and you can see the little bit that we've done going around there. So that highlight was on that side going there, now it's on this side coming here. So welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is a live stream recorded for ustream.tv and also recorded for YouTube for people to watch at their leisure. And I really like working with this very easy program called Artrage. There is a free demo version to play with first, and you don't have a time limit, so that's quite good, because sometimes it takes a while to get into something, and I always think it's quite nice not to be rushed, and especially if you can guarantee that if you're going to be rushed, you don't have the time to play as much as you want. I found that with the Coral Painter, the minute I downloaded it, I didn't have time to use it for days and days and days until it ran out, so I was a bit cross because I didn't have a chance to play with it very much. But there was a couple of things on there that I really wanted, and I could not actually get it to work because it has a lasso on it. So if you have what we used to call the perfect buttonhole, but it was drawn in the wrong place, you can just draw around it with a loose box, and you can move it to where you want it. And I quite like that, because sometimes you're just a millimetre or two out. I was with the eye. I drew Alfie's eye, and it was about 1.5 millimetres out, and it doesn't sound much, but when it's slap bang in the wrong place, yeah, it's annoying, and I had to actually rub it out and start all over again, so that was a bit of a pain. And I wanted to do that to save myself time and energy, knowing that, you know, I haven't drawn for a long time, so I knew things would be out. And then I couldn't get it to work, so I was a little bit cross about that, but I'm sure it's just me. And again, thinking about where this highlight is now, it's coming round. So again, I'm always working with a small brush. I just like the way that is, and I just enlarge it. I just find this very comforting and just easier to do. Again, a little bit of a highlight on that one. And I also work light gold to blue instead of doing all the blues first, which is probably a bad idea, because that's why I've changed the colour of the blue. I got confused from the purple blue to the cool blue, but I did use a reference, even though it's just a colour book. I use a reference for this, so that the colours are fairly simple, but they are believable. And again, I still blend the same way. I'm working in blendable markers, which is wonderful for me, because that's something that I can't physically do. Apart from the chameleon pens, I can just about use those for a little while, but this allows me to play for hours with blendable markers, which I think is very, very clever. So, oops, I'm not quite sure why they've just decided to get up and have a moment. Probably because I pressed the record button, so apologies, there could be some barking. I apologise. I've just finished this particular one off. Oh, she has got such good hearing. So I think that could be my husband. So apologies, there could be a little bit of barking and disturbance. So apologies in advance for that. So I will try to endeavour to carry on and talk over everything. So I really like working in this way. It's quite simple, and you just carry on. So have you got any questions? I just think it's such a very simple way to work, and I like the fact that everything's easy in there. In fact, I could probably put that at that. Oops. I've got it now. Come on. I'm going to put that there so that it's easy for me. And I sometimes have a reference, because when you're working quite big, you can't see what's happening. So this is a little kind of picture, an overall picture of what's happening. Sometimes that's quite good. But the wheel is very easy and very accessible. So the wheel is easiest for here. So that's quite nice. So I can put that onto there. So, and apologies that there's going to be some barks. So, hi, could you just shut the door, darling, please? Thank you. Sorry, because Dexter won't shut up. Thanks. He's the old one, the old dog who's deaf, so he can't hear himself barks. Apologies. You can keep tapping down here if you want different colours, but I've actually, in fact, I don't need that because I've got all my colours. And it's just very, very easy to put these colours down, and then we'll have a nice highlight on there. So, and if you want to see how things are panning out, you tap that top button, it makes it upright, and tap out 2, so you can see if that highlight is in the right place. And you can take if it's in correspondence with the highlight of there. I'm actually working in a different one. Let me just go out of here a minute. I knew I'd finished it. I thought I was going crazy. Sorry about that. Right, so if you look at this one, it's actually finished further up. So I finished the whole lot. So I thought I'd done that. So, and I was practicing with airbrush, which is a different. I didn't want to mix the medium on this one. This is just going to be blendable markers. But the same things happened. I've got my little my samples are here, so things are still the same. It's actually kept them for me, so I don't have to worry. I work at 300, which is the same. Just again, you just carry on. So sometimes I save things and then I save them again, so I've got them twice. So again, this is quite nice. Now that looks a different colour. I think that's a darker colour, so I'm actually going to take that off. Again, if you make a mistake, it's so nice that you can just tap it away. So if I go back up here, oops, not too far. These are warmer yellows, and I think that's my gold I've used. So in order that I don't get confused again, I mean, you don't have to do them gold and blue, you can do what you want. I'm going to bring that down here and I'm going to tap, and I'm going to go back up, oopsie, to there, and I'm going to tap here. And again, if you noticed that it came up with it said no name. So what I can do here is I could actually I don't know how I do it, but just bear with me. I'm just looking about again. I'm just playing with this. It says add simple. You can actually name them, but I don't know. It says, I know it says no name, but I would think a double tap. Oops, just let my cat out. Come on, Toffee. Puss. It's a madhouse, sorry. Puss, puss. Give me 2 seconds. No, you're not going upstairs. Oh, please. 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 Come on, Toffee. Puss, puss. Come on. I'm glad it was you upstairs. Sorry about that. They know it's nearly feeding time, you see, so they appear from whichever corner of the house they happen to be in. So apologies for that. It's just easy for my hand, is that. So what I found is that this hand is sometimes getting a bit tired. I've actually found that I can, because this is just stroking literally across, and it's as light as a pencil, but it's chunky, so it doesn't slip and slide like a pencil does. But you're basically just scratching the surface. Now, you're not scratching the surface because this Oogie has got this film, and this film does two things, and she's just stood in my water. Well, come and sit here if you're coming to sit here, Toffee. Sorry. No, don't lick my water. Honestly, you can't have anything. If I move that, you can sit there then. Would that be okay for you? Just rearranging the desk because the cat's there. No, Alfie, get down. Alfie. Oops, I don't know what she's doing. No, no, don't sit on the keyboard. No. Sorry, the cat's just walking across the keyboard, making marks. Now she's on the laptop. Now she's on the... No, you're not going to sit on the laptop. You're not going to sit on the laptop. Sorry about this. Cat alert. You're not going to sit there. No. Right. Let me get hold of him. I know. Right, you can go down. Sit down, please. Sit down, please. Sit down, please. Sit. Alfie, sit. 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 Good boy. Right, sorry about that. No, I only have my right hand. Experiment. See if this will open. Oh, it will. That's interesting. I don't know how I get rid of that now, but hey ho. Get rid of it. That was I'd used a different program software, and I just wondered if you could mix them. Sorry, darling. Just it'll go there, darling. Just get hold of him. He's biting the cat.
Come on, this way.
It's a rat bag. Sorry about that. He's just got a real nasty habit of nipping the cat. He doesn't do it with the other one because he boxes his ears, but he does with that one. So what I was going to say was, it's quite good if you've got poly hands to swap. Now it's not going to be as accurate, but if you make a real boo-boo and go over the line, you can tap back. And again, I like that idea that kind of like that idea. Now, I wonder if I can get my colour. Let me have a look. No, you can't. I don't know what I've done with it. It's here somewhere. Whoopsie. My problem is I didn't keep the colours. So I have all these really nice shades. I can put a shade on there if I want. So I'm going to go down here, I'm going to press plus, and I'm going to